One of the things I love most about print on demand is how we can approach accomplishing the same goal so many different ways. For instance, if I want to sell personalized products that I'm going to list on both Amazon and Etsy, because why wouldn't you? You can do it in so many different ways, even if you already know the personalization you're going to offer. Now, I've had a ton of success selling name personalizations, okay? I've been doing it for years, and I want to show you my favorite way of offering it, okay? And we're going to get right into it. I'm first going to show you how I stumbled upon it. So here on Etsy, I'm going to fire up Everbee, okay? The Chrome extension that helps you search Etsy, but dig into analytics that Etsy doesn't necessarily make available to us. So by firing up Everbee, specifically the product analytics model, okay, I did this after searching for custom name products. And what do you know? I've got a bunch of, I think I looked specifically for mugs for this example, but I was able to identify over 100 different coffee mugs where you can personalize your name in the design. Okay, and you can see in this column right here how many monthly sales are being generated. Some products doing as many as 67 sales a month. This one specifically, okay? And when you actually look at the product page on Etsy, you'll notice if you have Everbee installed, you can see things like the monthly sales, 67 currently, total sales, 454, closing in on 12,000 views, a 3.8% conversion rate, and this listing is only 7 months old. So doing extremely well. They've got a very competitive price point, not a lot of profit probably built in at $5.90, but we're going to actually talk about profits in a second too, because I wanted to show you what really got me excited about this opportunity, specifically looking at coffee mugs, but then I'm going to also show some other products that I would list these designs for sale on both Amazon and Etsy. I found this mug right here doing 37 sales a month, 250 sales total, also 7 months old. By the way, if you haven't seen this on Everbee, they launched this a few weeks back, but you can actually scroll down and look at the trends. Now, it's only available if there are, trend data available. So let me see if we can find it maybe on this listing. Okay, yeah. So on the more popular listing, you can actually see like a day-to-day sales breakdown, which is really cool. I don't know any other Etsy tool that is showing you details on that level, like that granular, okay? And you can extend the time frame out too if you want to. So you can go to all time. And you can see that it looks like because this listing is only 7 months old, that, naturally what you would expect, it did the most sales back in December. You can see it was doing like 20 sales a day, 19 sales a day, 20 sales a day, 19, 13. And you can see, basically you guys get the point. And then one more example here. So you don't need to have like 20 sales a day for a listing to be considered a success in my book. This one is only doing 15 sales a month. Okay, so instead of 15 sales a day, it's doing 15 sales a month, but at $12 plus per sale. Let's do a 11-ounce white mug, $12 plus shipping per sale. I bet you they're collecting a nice, comfortable amount of profit per sale. Now, I'm going to pivot over to Amazon as well. So I was doing research on both platforms. I came across this listing and I decided to fire up Jungle Scout, which gives me insights into the sales on Amazon, similar to what Everbee does for us on Etsy. And you'll notice that, this listing has different variations, 6 variations in total. They're all doing extremely well. And they're not very different, right? It's just basic color swaps. Some of them have the two-tone mugs, some are the white mug, some are the black mugs. But you got 103 sales per month on the two-tone white mug with the black handle, 110 sales per month with the black mug, 107 sales on the white mug with the blue two-tone, white with pink two-tone, 106 sales a month. White with the red two-tone only doing 79 sales per month. And then finally, the just white mug, plain white, 106 sales per month. Also had the lowest price point there at $11.99. Now, I just wanted to show you guys that you can pop this ASIN into the Amazon revenue calculator. If you guys didn't know that existed, it's free to use. You can use it as a guest. You don't even need to be logged in. I was getting an error when I plugged in the ASIN for this mug. So I went and I found a product with a similar price point. And actually, once it runs, you can actually set the item price right here. Let me zoom in so it's a little bit easier to see. So I set the price to $20.99, which basically mimics selling, the two-tone mug here. You know what I realized though, actually, is that we should be using $11.99 as the price point because the two-tone is going to have a higher base cost. I was looking at Printify here saying, what's the best price we can get if we were just selling the, plain 11-ounce white mugs, which I think is a great place to start. You can always expand your offerings later, but to me, this is the safest, most broad appeal product that is relevant to the most amount of people, right? So if you want to give yourself a chance at having a bestseller, the fewer decisions you make and the more basic it is, I think the better, right? It's going to have the most appeal to the most people. So the highest upside. So here in Printify, if I scroll down, you can see Monster Digital and District Photo both have these available for sale. District Photo has the edge in terms of price point. With Printify Premium, it starts at $3.50 per mug. That's going to be for the 11-ounce mug. You can click the provider info and actually get additional information. Looks like the 11-ounce mug, Printify Premium, which if you guys don't have, make sure you use my code in the description when you sign up and you get a free month. Why not? You get better fulfillment pricing. Starts at $3.50, and then shipping is $6.09 for the 11-ounce. Then we go back. The 15-ounce is $4.49. Shipping goes up to $7.99. Okay. So when it comes to calculating profits, basically we said we were going to do $11.99, right? So 11.99. They were charging what? $6 for shipping. So let's up that to $17.99. Okay. And you'll see in real time, Amazon's going to take out the margin so that you guys actually see this is a real profit margin. It's not me skipping certain fees. We're getting to the bottom of it. Okay. The net proceeds for each sale is $15.29. Now, if we jump back over to Printify, we subtract the 350 plus 609, so 3.5 plus 6.09 for shipping. We subtract 959. Okay. So we get 1529 minus 959. We keep $5.70 per sale. Okay. And $5.70 per sale divided by, what did we say the total was? $17.99. A 31.7 profit margin. Okay. That's, if you ask me, really good. Like anytime you're on Amazon today in 2025 with a 30% or better profit margin, you should be excited. And that's not me faking. That's like what it really is right now. Okay. Ignore where it says net margin down here in Amazon because we didn't put the actual costs in, which by the way, you can do here. I should have just done it here. It would have been better for the video. Apologies. Next time, right? In the future, I got you. So are you sold on this idea? I mean, it's honestly not even hard to do. That's what was blowing my mind. Let me show you different ways you can go about doing this. So the first way, this is where my head went initially. I went to Canva. I was like, this will make for a good YouTube video because people love Canva, even though personally I like Photoshop more. I've been using Photoshop for over 20 years. But I went to Canva. I typed in t-shirt. Now notice I didn't type in mug. This is just creature of habit, right? I've been doing this for too long. I like to design at the higher resolutions because you can always scale it down, but you know what you can't do is scale it up, right? Unless you want to use like an AI, enhancement for doing that. But that's never going to be as good as if you just start at a high resolution. So I typed in t-shirt, fired up a t-shirt template here. I typed in the letter A, first letter of the alphabet, and I was about to start editing it and making it look something like this. I mean, I don't necessarily need to make an exact replica with all the detail in the background, all that ornamental stuff. I just wanted to hollow out the middle, put a line above, a line below, and make room for a name to be added. But you know what I realized? I don't need to do this because I have a Creative Fabrica subscription, which if you don't, you can join for as low as $3.99 a month if you use my link in the description. I don't know if there's a better deal if you are creating designs on a regular basis, okay? Because they have fonts like you see right here. This is a font that has the hollowed out letters already built in, okay? So it's a font and they have pre-made bundles with all of the letters hollowed out, and it comes in SVG, PNG, and all the other relevant formats. So that's two ways you could get started right away. I was gonna do it manually, and then I said, you know what, time is money. Why would I work harder when I can work smarter? So I downloaded the bundle, and just to show you guys that it really does exist, I've got it right here, okay? And I started working through adding names to the letters, okay? Because you're actually gonna need to do this so you have a real design to show on Amazon, right? When people find your product listing, you don't want to leave that middle line blank. You want to put something in it so that they can envision the finished product, okay? But then they have the ability using Amazon Custom to hit Customize Now, okay? They select their letter, and then they're able to type in their name and view in real time what it's going to look like before it gets sent to production, okay? And I've got something for you there as well because we're going to use HelloCustom to automate the personalization process behind the scenes. I'm going to show you how to set that up as well. But I just wanted to walk you through my thought process and show you how, even after 8 years, it's like sometimes my brain betrays me. And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm doing it manually for each letter on Canva. I'm like, wait a second, I don't need to do that. I can jump on over to Creative Fabrica and either download a font where everything is already done for me. I can link to these in the description too if you guys want to go directly here. Or I can download all these as like PNG, SVG, etc. Okay, and I can load them up and start creating the Amazon listings just like this one that we see here that is making, did I close it down? I think I closed it down. That was my fault. But each one of these variations on average is doing about 100 sales a month when you average all of them out. So that's 600 sales a month, making, a 30% profit margin. Like they're doing extremely, extremely well. So the next steps are we need to launch a product listing on Amazon. I'm going to find the ceramic mug on Printify where I've already got my Amazon shop connected. I'm going to launch using district photo for the best pricing, and I'm going to hit start designing. Next, I've already got the design that I want to use uploaded to get started. I'm going to use the letter Z in this case. Now there's different ways. You could launch a different listing and optimize the SEO around each letter of the alphabet, or you could do what this listing did here and actually, no, they did do that. I was looking at a different listing earlier though, where they had each letter of the alphabet as a different variation. So there's different ways you can go about it, guys. That's what I'm saying. Print on demand is cool. We can all do this a different way. You know what I mean? We're not going to step on each other's toes necessarily. So I upload the finished design here just to make sure it looks good out of habit. I usually use the preview button in the top right corner, and Printify will generate mockups for me so that I can see what the customer is going to see. And this looks perfect. Okay, I wanted to confirm that first. Then I go ahead, launch it on Amazon, jump into Amazon Custom. Now I did a full tutorial on this just a few weeks back, okay, where I spent like 40 plus minutes walking you through step-by-step how to launch an Amazon Custom business using HelloCustom to automate the personalization on the back end. I will link to that video in the description and in the YouTube cards right here. So in case you've never used Amazon Custom before, it's very easy, very simple. Next step, we jump on over to HelloCustom, and what we're gonna do is upload our design. Notice I'm not gonna upload the design that has the name added. I'm gonna upload the blank design here because the name element is going to be dynamic. So we don't wanna add static text that would completely ruin what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? We need to leave that blank. And here now in HelloCustom, I'm gonna go ahead, add text. Go ahead and click add header in this case, just gonna add a text layer for us. I'm gonna make the font size like 260. And then I'm going to change the font family to something just big and bold. We'll try Archivo Black maybe. I think that'll actually look fine. The thing is, you do want to match the font like in HelloCustom to the font you used in your design. Since this is just for a YouTube video, I didn't memorize what font I used. So apologies there, but I do want to be clear that like whatever font I used here in what I'm showing in the mockup should match what I use here in HelloCustom. So if I'm using Archivo Black here in HelloCustom, I would want to go and like redo these mockups with Archivo Black. So my bad there. Okay, so now I've got the name Zach added. Up here in the top left, it says tags. I'm going to tag that as name. And that's it. That's all I have to do. You can then go to the top right corner, hit product variants, and sync this with your products from Amazon. How easy is that? And because we used HelloCustom, AI extracts the personalized element and puts it in the design so we can send it to production in a single click. Now we could end the video here, but there is a better way, an even better way to do this. I was talking to Steven at HelloCustom and he said, dude, you can do this even better. So credit to him for showing me this. I'm gonna go here in Photoshop. I'm just going to make a white rectangle, okay? And then I'm gonna add a stroke of maybe 20 pixels and I'm gonna make it black, okay? I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do here. Now I'm gonna delete the sides of it because we just need the middle part, and I'm gonna port this over to HelloCustom. And I'm gonna go ahead and create a blank template to start in the dimensions that I want. I always start with the t-shirt dimensions. First, I'm gonna set the background to white. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, background white. There we go, perfect. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add text, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and add header. Let's go ahead and make a big letter R. We're gonna use this default font, Abril Fat Face. I think will look just fine. And I'm gonna just play with the font size slider until I get it nice and big. I think that looks perfect. Up next, at the bottom here, it says upload or drop your images. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add that white rectangle that we just made and place it right in the middle. Now you guys see what we're working towards. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so that it looks even on both sides. Maybe even bigger. I mean, it's really up to you, whatever you think looks right, okay? I think that looks great. What do you guys think? I'm gonna add text again, add header. Oh wait, first, we cannot forget. We're gonna click this big letter R, okay? And what we're gonna do with that is up in the top left corner where it says tags, I'm gonna create one called name, and and then parentheses, use the first letter of the name, okay? Now, because HelloCustom uses AI, it's gonna figure out exactly what we need it to do. So if I go in and I say, my name is Mike, it's gonna switch the R to an M, okay? Or if this template was for an M and I say my name's Ryan, it's gonna switch the M to an R. You get what I'm saying? Now we create the second text element down here. And I'm gonna go ahead, since we are using an R, and why don't I just do all caps too? Which, by the way, if I type RYAN like that, I can go ahead and select it here, and then HelloCustom supports forcing all caps. As a former web developer, like, there is something about uniformity and making things more predictable that I like, because I use JavaScript to code plenty of like real-time previews, stuff, basically what HelloCustom does and what Amazon Custom does. Like, I've built stuff like this in my past life as a web developer, as I like to refer to it as. So let me make that a little bit bigger. Let me play around with the positioning. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm gonna make this text box the full width of the document. And the last thing I need to do is just select it, and for tags, just select name. And that's it. Again, now I just sync it with the product that this correlates to on Amazon. But did you see that was even easier? Instead of us having to go through the effort of finding these pre-made letters and then going in, making our own like finished versions of them, which actually you still kind of have to do in order to get the mockup done in Printify. But we can go ahead and just build it out using the text that is in HelloCustom, and it'll dynamically switch the letter in the background and the name in the foreground for us. So I don't know if it gets much better than that, guys. And as I wrap this video up, guys, I just wanted to show you, if you're doing the work to create these designs that can be customized and automatically fulfilled with HelloCustom, sending it to Printify with one-click approval, it does all the hard work for you. I just wanted to show you guys in Printify, you can go to catalog. They have a section called bestsellers. I was picking through the bestsellers just very briefly, thinking about what of these products could we add this customization to. Honestly, baby bodysuit, brilliant idea. I didn't even plan for that. But t-shirts. Now, I actually did a little research on Amazon. I didn't see this specific, like, I'm calling it like the monogram letter design. I didn't see that selling as well on t-shirts. So I'm actually going to keep it real with you guys and skip t-shirts. But phone cases, I was able to find some listings that were doing really well. This one specifically I wanted to share. So this is various iPhone versions and cases for that. Now, again, no one's getting rich for this, but here we're firing up Jungle Scout. You can see these variations are doing around 50 sales a month, you know, more than one sale a day on average. What's not to like about that? Or the 40-ounce travel mugs. Now, if you guys missed Steven from HelloCustom's video, he launched an Etsy business in 24 hours that was doing about 150K annual run rate in just a month, basically. I mean, he optimized it for Mother's Day, which is a pretty big holiday, but he was able to get regular sales generated, and he only spent 24 hours scaling the business. It was really impressive. I reacted to his video. I will link to that in the YouTube cards right here as well, in case you missed it. But these travel mugs are perfect for personalization. Don't forget, Amazon and Etsy, definitely push them to both and use HelloCustom to automate the fulfillment for both. So I found this listing on Amazon that was doing very well. So let me pull this over here from Jungle Scout. I only have Jungle Scout on my other browser, so that's why I have to pull it over. You can see right here, there's a bunch of variations, which is actually a pretty decent strategy to help rank your listing. Their variations are doing all basically above 400 sales a month, ranging from like 7 sales a day, 8 sales a day, in that range just about. So Jungle Scout, basically, they excel at using BSR to project sales. You can see the different letters of the alphabet on the left-hand side here in these thumbnails, and it gives you an estimate of the monthly sales. So like the letter M doing 441 sales a month, letter G doing 465 sales a month, okay? And based on what I showed you, like we were looking at a very specific approach to design, but like even just the static letters works really well. And as you saw, you can tag it in HelloCustom and have it dynamically pick the letter for you. So you could ask the customer to just give you the letter. You could create the letters as variations, as this listing did, or you could have it just give you the name and then tell HelloCustom to pick the first letter from the name, and it'll automatically plug it in. And if you're wondering where to get the graphics, again, Creative Fabrica's got, you know, a similar kind of wreath graphic, floral graphic that you can use, and then use HelloCustom to add the text element in the middle, guys. So, hey, What is not to love, man? It's 2025. It's a beautiful thing that we can launch a business with no inventory because Printify is doing everything for us. We can validate all of our ideas because Everbee and Jungle Scout, depending on what marketplace you're doing research on, can give us the data in real time. Then we use HelloCustom with AI to do the designing. And honestly, the most annoying part of running this business, if you're offering custom products, putting the personalized element in the design for us and give us one-click approval so that Printify sends it to production, produces the product, ships it to our customer, and adds the tracking all for us while we're asleep, right? We could be sleeping, we could be on vacation. The business runs itself, man. It gets me fired up, man. I love that. I love being alive in 2025 and being able to benefit from this. Let me know your thoughts, guys. If you have any feedback in the comment section, hit that like button. Everything I showed you in this video is going to be linked in the description, including those extra videos that I mentioned in this video. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.